Good afternoon, everybody. I'm back here with sort of a special video. My last video was where I announced that I no longer had to do my scent of the days because I was actually finished with that. I'm finished with my collection. And when I originally started out, I started out just doing my collection for my grandkids. And then what happened is something that happens to a lot of, I think I'm not the only one this would happen to. I've been collecting now for about 2.5 years that I've been in fragrances. And with that was a journey. And there was the journey of, initially I knew not what was out there. So I went to all of the reviewers and saw all the best 10s and the most complimented and la, 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 la. All those videos that everybody else watches, inexpensive ones, extra gems, everything that you could possibly look at, because I wanted to know what was out there and try to decipher what maybe I should buy. And I probably overbought some of that stuff. But I'm happy I did, because there's a lot of great smells that I got out of that. So anyway, that was what I really wanted to put on my scent of the day, was my collection. And then my journey took me in the niche about a year, maybe a year and a half after I started. I got my first couple niche ones, but they became part of my collection. Whatever I bought as a decant or a bottle was part of my collection before I started making videos. So for them, I was going to make videos on them too. So it was that. And then what happened was I started making the videos in January, and I added to my collection. I added other fragrances to it, and it just kept getting longer and longer. When I started, I thought it would only take about 2.5, 3 months just to go through what I had. And but because I kept adding, that got longer. And then I went into a whole nother area. And it's another part of the journey that I think everybody would get into. Once I was making these videos and I was getting connected with people in Fragcom, I was hearing of all these indie brands. Now, 2 of them I did know. I did know Happy Land and I did know Gallagher at the time I started my videos. So they were the first 2 I bought. Happy Land I knew from Ross. I always mention Ross. And he's got a big Happy Land thing back there. But from a lot of other reviewers, because he's not the only one that has done videos on Happy Land. And the same with Gallagher. I learned him from the reviewers. And I always knew I would eventually try them once I got more comfortable. Because as I mentioned, I'm not really, I wasn't really comfortable with gourmands at the time, or strong florals like roses. Anyway, I didn't really think I should try some independent ones because they're usually stronger in concentration. And that's another reason. So anyway, but so in February and March, while I was making my videos, I ordered my first samples of Happy Land and Gallagher. And then I spent a week doing both of them. So that was 2 weeks in that got at it. And then, of course, as I was more involved with the fragrance community, I was getting more involved in chats and the lives. I was talking to more people on the Facebook groups, all the various Facebook groups. I was following along with people. I had a lot of conversations with people. I started to hear about these other indie brands. And then I started ordering from them. And then I would wear them as a scent of the day, but that was backlogging what I had. And so I have this, it wasn't a ragtag thing, but I have all these samples that I bought. Most of these I bought. Almost all of these I bought because I had heard that this indie brand or that indie brand was good. And that's the same with Happy Land and Gallagher. I bought all samples of whatever I did my scent of the day from. And I've since bought bottles from both of them. So today, when I'm saying a special video, last week before I stopped, one of those indie brands that are in this thing was Shelter and Perfume. And the very first one I tried was Sir. So when I made that video for Sir, which is a really nice vetiver, it's going into my vetiver list, and it'll be pretty high up on my vetiver list because it has a unique note of lime, but you can see the video. Before I posted that video, I made sure I ordered a bottle for me because I saw it was low on her inventory. And today I got that bottle, and today she sent me a few samples along with that bottle. And 3 of the samples she sent me were other indie brands. One indie brand I had heard of, City Rhythm. She sent me San Diego, and she sent me 2 from one called Carel, which I hadn't heard from, but I've since looked up and I like it. So that being said, that as part of and she sent me a really beautiful letter telling me, these are not for you because I want you to review them or anything. These people never asked me to do that. I just thought, I know what you love, and out of my love of fragrances to your love of fragrances, here's these samples. And that's basically what it says. And I thought that's good. And with that, since I made that video and said I was going to stop making my scent of the day, we've been getting a lot of love a lot of places. I didn't know how many people, you may not comment on all my videos, but I look back and whenever I bring Miss Fritz I, my wife, my honey, whenever I bring her on and talk about her and talk about her health struggles, those videos or those posts have garnered lots of comments and lots of prayers and lots of love. So for me to say I'm just going to stop with all these people, caring about my wife, Miss Fritz, she would hit me with a frying pan if I did that. And she's spoken to me because she sees those comments too. So that leaves me, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Because I am not a reviewer, I'm not an expert, I'm not an influencer, I have no plans of monetizing, nor do I want to monetize, either on purpose or accidentally. I don't want to monetize. And I have this list of things, and I thought one way I might do it is I'm going to steal something from Ross, and I'm going to give it a different name. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a weekly video of just my scents of the week. And I won't call it weekly rotation because I don't want to get sued by that guy Ross Carlos over at TLTG Reviews. So I'll call it something else. Maybe you people can help me name it. And then what I'll do is I've been writing down what I've been wearing this week, and I'll make one video on Sunday. And that'll go at least a little less places. It will go on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Then it'll go on only 4 Facebook groups. It'll go on my group, which is the Spritz with Pop Fritz. It'll go on 14 Sprays Minimum. It'll go on Facebook Junkie, and it'll go on Fragrance Junkie and Fragrance Addict on Facebook, because those last two gave me the start to do this. And Will Smith, who owns 14 Sprays Minimum, who that's named for him, there's a family there that about 800 people who know me. So, and then my group knows me. So what I'm going to do is a scent of the week where I do, what I wore. But that brings me to this box, and something she mentioned that, she didn't send these to, the ones she sent me, she didn't send me this whole box. This is full of Gallagher's and Happy Lands and all kinds. And so what I'll do is, I think on these, I won't do them as scent of the days, but I may do, I may do where I do 2 scents of a day. I wear my scent of the day, and then when I shower, I do something at night, and it'll probably be from this box, and I'll probably do them line by line. One house, but one house, but one house for a week or something. And then what I might do is make one video on that brand or that perfumer. However, I'm going to make sure that people are clear. That doesn't mean that I'm affiliated with any of these brands, or that any of them asked me to do that. So some may even be upset if I do that. But I don't see why, because I would never say anything very negative about a thing. From just looking at my face, whether it's how I feel about it. And anyway, I would never say anything negative about a brand. And that brings me to anything positive I say. I'm doing all samples. None of these are blind bottles, right? And that's what you should do too, for any influencer. And they all say that. They all say that. They all say, don't just blind buy a $400 bottle. Go get yourself a sample. So with that, I want to thank everybody for prayers in those 4 groups and on Instagram. A lot of people have said similar things. Can you keep us in touch? And that's the way I'm going to do it. And I want to thank Emily again for getting this out to me. I got my bottle, and it'll go right back there on the top shelf. And I do want to thank you for what you sent me, because there is one or two, one from City Rhythm. It's on my list to get. So thank you very much for doing that. And with that, have a nice day. Bye.